Hello, this is Benito Kamimura from aps Academy. Are you able to keep up with the video? If I am going too fast, try slowing down the video. Now let's get started. Female pioneers. Since the computer's invention, many of the people famous for working in computer science have been men. Even now, only about 25% of people working in computer-related fields in the United States are women. However, some of the first computer programmers were a group of American women who worked at the University of Pennsylvania in the 1940s. They made a huge contribution to the development of modern computers, but for many years, their work was largely forgotten. During World War II, many American men were fighting overseas. As a result, women were needed for jobs that were traditionally done by men. For example, in 1942, the U.S. Army hired a group of women who had studied math in university. The U.S. Army needed to understand where and how its rockets and bombs moved, so the Army asked the women to do the calculations. At first, the women worked with desk calculators. Each calculation took one woman about 20 hours to complete. To reduce the time it took to complete these calculations, the Army developed a special computer in 1943. It was called ENIAC, and it was designed by engineers at the University of Pennsylvania. The computer was big enough to fill a whole room and had to be programmed before each calculation. 6 women were chosen to develop the way to program the computer. Their names were Kathleen Antonelli, Jean Bartik, Betty Holberton, Marlon Meltzer, Frances Spence, and Ruth Titelbaum. Although it could sometimes take a long time to program the computer for a calculation, once the computer was programmed, it only took 30 seconds to complete each calculation. Although the woman created one of the first computer programs, few people remembered them. Then, in 1986, a young female student at Harvard University, Katherine Kleiman, was researching women in computer science. She began to research the women's contribution and eventually made a documentary about them. Finally, the women were recognized for the big role they had played in the development of modern computing. Kleiman believes that remembering these women is important because it will encourage more women to take up careers in computer science. How did you do? Remember to practice reading out loud until you are able to read with me. See you next time.